So, Joseph, we're here to talk to you about Don Jon, which was a very racy little number, but really fresh. I really enjoyed it.
Thank you.
There's only a few things I really care about in life. My body, my pad, my ride, my family, my church, my boys, my girls, and my porn.
So let's talk about where the research process came from this. Were you like Jon growing up?
No, my upbringing was very different than Jon's. My mom and dad brought up my brother and me hyper aware of sort of the ideals that come out of the feminist movement of the 60s and 70s, and that men and women ought to be considered as equals. And my mom would always point out to my brother and me, if we were watching TV as a family or something, when a commercial was, say, using a sexy woman to sell their product, she would point that out and say, like, look at how women are portrayed. That's not what women are. She really brought us up that way. Jon, on the other hand, was sort of brought up not that way at all. So he and I have a lot of differences. I think the way in which this movie is a personal story for me is that it's a story about how media sort of influences our perspectives on things. And I grew up working on TV and in movies, and so I've always been very aware of, or paid a lot of attention to, the way what we see on screens impacts our point of view.
She caught me watching porn.
That's it?
Right? Oh!
How do you watch that?
How do you watch all the stupid movies that you watch?
Movies and porno are different, Jon. They give awards for movies.
They give awards for porn, too.
What was it like having to act in that way with a whole film crew around you?
Well, it's a comedy and it's a satire, and I love actors that my favorite actors are the ones like Daniel Day-Lewis or Gary Oldman, who disappear into their characters, really transform themselves and become somebody very different than themselves, and that's certainly what I was aspiring to with Don Jon. He talks differently than I do, he walks differently than I do, he has a very different way of seeing the world and people than I do, he looks really differently than I do, and so I don't think anybody on the crew or in the cast thought that I was that guy. He's
a very modern character, though. I saw that he's been on Twitter.
Yes, he has.
What are some of the most outrageous things that the character has been asked?
Yeah, it's been really fun. I've been writing as him. It's been a really amusing kind of extension of the writing process, because normally, you make a movie and then the character is the character and then that's it. It's sort of finite in that way. But because this time I was the writer, I felt like I had the right to, if I wanted to, sort of extend the character. Whereas I wouldn't write on Twitter as a character that I had just acted, that I didn't write, because I would feel that was sort of not my place. But this has been really fun to kind of get to have chats with people and talk with them as Don Jon. And it's funny because some people I don't know, it's funny that a lot of women are really kind of attracted to him, because he's so clearly sort of a selfish guy, and I don't know, I guess some women, at least on Twitter, really like that or respond to it, which is always sort of surprising to me, but funny.
They've been funny. I've seen the responses, and
good.
They've been great. I just want to talk to you about your production company quickly, because I know that you're doing a new TV show.
Yeah,
is there anything you can tell us about that?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to start being on in January. I think here in the UK you'll be able to get it on iTunes. It's going to be on cable TV in the US, and eventually I guess it'll come on TV internationally, but I don't know exactly when. But so Hit Record is this company I started number of years ago, and the basic premise is that anybody can come join through our site and contribute to these collaborative projects that I direct. So the show is going to be lots of little pieces, short films and songs and cartoons and short documentaries, and it's all made collaboratively, where people will contribute parts. Say someone will write some lyrics, then someone else will pick up those lyrics and sing them, and someone else will provide the bass line, and someone else will play drums, and I'm sort of there oftentimes participating. I sing and dance and act in it, a lot, but But I also am there sort of directing all the different contributors, and we make some really unexpected things because people are coming at it from different angles than your typical, Hollywood production would.
And I just quickly, before I go, just want to quickly ask about Sin City, if that's okay, just really quickly, what we can expect, major cast, just tell us what we can look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen it yet. Robert's still working on it. I mean, Rodriguez is a filmmaker. I've always loved his stuff. I loved the first Sin City, and I just can't wait. I can't wait to see how it turns out. I think it's going to be really, really, really fun.
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.